Welcome to the Guitar Gavel Lick of the Week, where special guest musicians walk you through a short lick to add to your bag of tricks. If you have questions about the lick, drop them in the comments section. And if you like what you see, please leave a 5-star review and share the lick of the week with your friends.
Hey, this is Will Ray again. This is Guitar Gavel number 36. And I wanted to talk to you a little bit about tuners. My new favorite clip-on tuner is the PolyTune. And I just love these. The battery life is so much better for me than the snark tuners. You can tune all 6 strings if you wanted to. You know, like just go across them all if you want to. I like to just still do a single string at a time. But I really like this because it has a nice level of accuracy. Like you can see there that it's flat. And here's the thing too about tuning is that I'm not going to tune this up because you see how it was telling me it was flat. Well, that's because I'm sitting up. You know, you should always tune in the position that you're going to be playing. So when I'm leaning back, it's closer to on all. It's perfect tuning, you know. So always tune to the position you're going to be playing. The other tuner that I like, I think this is probably the best tuner ever made. This is the old Korg chromatic. But what I like about this is it's a good metered tuner. And they quit making these probably about 30 years ago. But this is what I consider to be the holy grail of tuners. This is the one when I got the PolyTune, I compared it against because this will only do string by string, you know, so it's a pain, but the accuracy is just unparalleled. And I like it's got a good size meter on it, and there's not a lot of jitter in the meter. Once you hit the note, it stays there instead of jumping around and stuff. And you know, as it's picking up different harmonics and everything. When I'm tuning, I like to tune from the 12th fret harmonic. Because for some reason, tuners can latch on to those notes better when they're done with the harmonic. Because it's a harmonic, you can tune a little bit better. It's a little truer tuning for me than just doing the string open. Because a lot of times the very initial pluck of a string that's full scale, like the low E, it'll go sharp for a second and then come back to where it wants to be. And so I like tuning from the 12th fret harmonics. The other thing that affects tuning quite a bit is change of seasons. When it gets cold, my guitars usually go flat, and when it gets hotter, they usually go sharp. And you can kind of equate it to like a little bit of when a guitar is cold, you know, the cold contracts the wood a little bit. And when it's hot, it expands more and it goes sharp. And that's just good to always keep in mind. Usually the 2 times where the biggest change of seasons occurs is usually the fall and the spring. And that's because you have real big extremes in temperature. The other thing that affects tuning is humidity. And like when it gets drier, I think it tends to go sharper more. I don't know why, but pay attention to the change of seasons, and I don't usually once I set the truss rod, I usually don't have to adjust it again for the change of seasons. In rare occasions I might, but for the most part, I set the truss rod to a good all-round position to where it can go through dry spells or damper spells without needing an adjustment. Oh, one other thing I want to talk about, and that is, if you really want your strings to last a long time, I use this stuff called squeakies. And what it is it's just basically little baby wipes for guitar. They're alcohol based, you know, and so you just tear it open and get it out. Sometimes, I've had these for 20 years, so sometimes the alcohol dries out. But I like to reuse these. I have a thing of rubbing alcohol I always keep handy, and I'll moisten it, and then I'll just take it to the strings, and that's why it's called squeakies, because it squeaks your strings a little bit. And I do this whenever I'm going to put a guitar away for a while, you know, like for more than a month or something like that. And then what I'll do is I'll loosen the two middle strings, the G string and the D string. I'll loosen those if I'm going to store a guitar for months at a time. That usually averts disaster with storing a guitar for any period of time. So those are my tips on guitar maintenance. Remember, guitars are for fun.